Hello, my name is Jess, and today I'm a proud member of the Hawkins AV Club. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know I told you before I'd started watching Stranger Things. Well, now I'm done with it, and I have a lot of feelings that I just need to get out into the void of the internet. So I thought I would do a reactions video. I'm gonna stop right here and say this is very spoilery. So if you haven't watched Stranger Things 2 yet, go do that and then come back and we'll talk. It'll be great. As usual, I did take notes, and I'm gonna kind of jump around. This is in no particular order. This is sort of like a stream of consciousness. Stranger Things, well, not exactly because I wrote it down, but you know what I mean. Like, this is random thoughts, feelings, reactions to Stranger Things 2. Are you ready? Oh, and I also feel like it kind of just goes without saying that I loved it, right? I loved it. It was amazing. Guys, the crush I have on Hopper right now is so real. I think it's kind of gross to call guys daddy, but in his case, I might make an exception. So what do you think is scarier, the Demogorgon or the Demodogs? Because I feel like the Demodogs, whatever, the dogs were kind of more scarier than the actual like big monster in the first season. Did anybody else feel that way? They're more like savage. Do not know the actress's name, but the girl that plays Nancy, you are a fantastic drunk. I was very impressed with you. Was anybody else completely expecting Paul Reiser's character to just suck? He really surprised me. I thought it was gonna be another like Papa situation ultimately, and I was pleasantly surprised that he wasn't like a total dick by the end of the show. Dude, those boys in the Ghostbusters costume was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I think episode 2 was my favorite, and it's probably everyone's favorite too, right? I mean, episode 2 was the best. Hopper, what business? I got a pen. Anyway, Hopper, what business do you have going into those tunnels by yourself? You already know what kind of messed up shit happens in this upside down world. You're just gonna fly solo, dude. Really? Nobody else? You couldn't call one of like your Paul Reiser buddies? I love you, but that was stupid. I'm going to need at least 40% more Erica in season 3. She was adorable. That scene where they're taking the pictures of the Halloween costumes and she just mouths is like the greatest. Cracked my shit up. It was so funny. So why does everybody hate episode 7 so much? Before I even started the show, I'd heard bad things about 7. And I get that we don't have a lot of the characters that we know and love in it. It is a departure. It is something different. I still really liked it though. And I think it was really important for the story because this is where 11 learns, number one, a lot about herself, but what she's capable of. And that's how she can do the cool things at the end of the show, right? Everybody hates on it, but it was important. If your name starts with a B and ends with a B and you're a decent person, you're probably gonna die. Guys, that mind flare was terrifying and probably some of the most metal shit I've seen in a long time. Good God, they made us wait so long for a Mike and Elle reunion. We had to wait so long. It was satisfying, and I'm glad that it happened the way it did. Well, I don't know. I didn't want to have to wait as long, but it was satisfying. I'm just, you know, what was it, like episode 8? 8 episodes for them to finally like reconnect. My poor heart. I would also request about 40% less Billy in next season 2. Please and thank you. Ugh. Do we want Joyce and Hopper to be a thing? Because I kind of feel like they're gonna be a thing, but I don't know how I feel about that. What do you guys think? And I'm not just saying that because I want it for myself. Steve, you hero, you glorious, beautiful babysitter. Who knew you had that in you? Way to turn that shit around, man. I'm proud of you, Steve. I'm so proud of you right now. I just want to give you a hug and a can of hairspray for your troubles. Do you guys remember the scene where Will and Bob are in the car? Bob's taking him to school and he tells him how he dealt with his scary dream, and he just confronted it head on and said, you know, told him to leave him alone, and that ultimately led to Will being possessed by the mind flayer. Did anybody else think that Bob maybe had like terrible motives at the beginning of that? I mean, the tone of that story honestly made me think that Bob was gonna wind up being a bad guy. I was totally wrong, but that was the vibe I got initially. I only want to dress like Punk 11 every day of my life from here on out. Not directly related to season 2, but I took the BuzzFeed quiz that tells you which Stranger Things character you are, and I already kind of knew in my heart who it was going to be, I thought. I feel like I have very strong, I see myself in Dustin a lot. I have a very strong connection with Dustin's character. So I'm like, oh, obviously I'm going to get Dustin. No, I got the Demogorgon. Why am I the Demogorgon? And then Anne comes over and she takes the quiz for me. So she answers the way she thinks that I would answer. So not all the answers were the same, but a lot were because she knows me pretty well. And she got the Demogorgon too. Like, why am I the monster? What does this say about me? Should I be concerned? Should you guys be concerned for me? I don't know, but I don't like it. The fact widely known that teenage girls are terrible, right? I was one. I was a terrible one. I could have been worse, but no, it still wasn't the greatest. We've got attitudes. We're just, we're very focused on ourselves normally. I'm sorry if you're a teenage girl and you're watching this, but it just it's what happens to us chemically. Anyway, could you imagine having all of that teenage girl angst on top of the isolation and the superpowers? I would get very frustrated with 11 during the show sometimes, and then I'd have to stop and think she has just got to be crawling out of her skin. There's so much going on. She's being a total brat, but I do kind of get it. But also be less bratty because Hopper is taking fantastic care of you for the most part. A lot of really sad things happen in the show. People die, and there's just sad situations. And I am a crier, and I'm usually pretty emotional when I watch stuff like this, especially things that I'm invested in, like Stranger Things. I didn't cry until the very end when nobody would dance with Dustin. Ugh! I was bawling. I was so sad. I was so upset. And I just, people died. And this is the thing that I connected with the most emotionally. He was so excited to do this. And he really, he put himself out there. And that's how it went for him. And I'm still heartbroken over that scene. Did anybody else feel the same way? It makes me sad even talking about. I would dance with you, Dustin, in a second. My final reaction to Stranger Things 2 is, how long do we have to wait until we get more? I loved this season. It really didn't disappoint me at all. I kept my attention. I laughed. I cried at the end. It was great. It's going to be a long time. I'm assuming a year, but I will bide my time and rewatch all the other ones until we get new Stranger Things. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you've made it this far, I am fully assuming and hoping you have watched Stranger Things too. So if you have any reactions to my reactions, questions, comments, concerns, whatever, let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you feel like hanging out with me a little more. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!